And on the road, it's made no difference, except tonight. Now, there's some value out there, all right? This thing was at 3.5. It's down to 3. We still want to chop it up with the Atlanta Hawks. Welcome back in. It's the top 3 plays. We'll get an NBA parlay in here before we get out. We go 3-0 yesterday in our top 3. No need to brag. We're only as good as we are today. So that at least deserves you hit the thumbs up button, right? Now, when we look at the 3 plays today, we're going to start with a little bit of an issue. And it's not the team we're betting on because we're fading internal controversy. Look no further than not the Nets, but who they're playing. Nick Claxton, a guy who nobody on the Discord will bet under rebounds ever again, even though we got lucky one time in. But this isn't about the Brooklyn Nets. It's about the Golden State Warriors. Down a couple of guys, Chris Paul, Draymond Green. Now, without them, also dealing with the Nets team that kind of is okay at home, at least against the spread. The best play we can find across the board is actually the Brooklyn Nets knocking off the Golden State Warriors. Let's lay the points here at -1.5. We're not going to get crazy and push this thing. We're going to jump in before the line moves even higher. The Nets at home, 14-9-2 against the spread versus 8-14 away. That's it. We also know the Warriors have a big one. I don't care if Joel Embiid is out. They have the Philadelphia 76ers coming up, which is a much more important game for them than this one. Clippers ending a road trip. The Grammys have kicked them out of town. We know that. We see that here in Philly with the show on ice, Disney on ice, what have you. Knocks the Sixers and Flyers out for like 10 days. So here come the Clippers. Final game of the road trip. And they've played well. Look, we tailed them. They did some good stuff for us. One of the plays we had last night was Kawhi Leonard staying under 26.5, finished with 25, and they still win. That's how good the Clippers have been. And on the road, it's made no difference, except tonight. Now, there's some value out there, all right? This thing was at 3.5. It's down to 3. We still want to chop it up. The Hawks right now can swoop in and take advantage of this, especially knowing this is the final game for the Clippers. This is not, hey, let's get up. Now we get to go home. This is, all right, man, just get out there. One more game. Let's get out of here. We come back to LA and we can reset. That's a massive, massive difference. And that's the biggest thing for me when I look at trying to at least figure this thing out. It would be, all right, where is there value in fading a favorite? And that would be the road Clippers in their final game of this stretch. Let's see if Luka even plays. He's listed as questionable coming into this. We get that. This is a very tight line at a point for Dallas, laying that in Philadelphia. Tobias Harris points are up to like 22.5. We just saw Maxey score 50 without Embiid. So the Sixers are definitely not a horrific team, atrocious team, maybe even a non-playoff team without Embiid, but we just don't know what's going on with Luka. That's a big factor here because if he plays, it's hard for us to think this number goes up. So he's questionable. It's a tight spread. That may shift. But trying to get ahead of the injury news isn't necessarily fading aside here. It's looking at Luka playing in a game on the road, mind you. That leads us to Luka. Under 36.5 points. We'll play that on DK. That's the best number. Thanks to OddsShopper. More on that coming up. But that's our final play of our top 3. We go Brooklyn Nets -1.5, Atlanta Hawks +3. And look, 36.5. This kid is not dropping 50 tonight on a Q tag. If anything, they get in, they probably lose that game on that short spread, or other guys are taking over like Kyrie Irving, for example. All right, let's do it. Let's build a parlay here. 2 legs. That's it. We'll use the OddsShopper Parlay Builder. You'll see the data here. This is why we are going to DraftKings, because of what we have that's been working for us from an ROI standpoint. So the first leg, and you'll see the second as well, are going to fall into these markets, specifically rebounds. Anthony Davis, it's a big number. They're in Charlotte. Charlotte's awful. Even at home, they had a chance to have that one little snapback game, and they failed to do so. This is not going to change against a Lakers team that's growing healthy, at least with AD expected to play. Even if he plays through this Q tag, even better. But we know we're getting this at +105. We have this winning at 50-50. There's a slight edge right there, just alone on those odds. Same thing here with Okongwu. +110. We have this winning just about 49% of the time. Same +3 EV. All that means is this is a good bet. This bet on DraftKings is better or best played as opposed to every other book. You may not be getting 110. You may be getting even money. You may have to lay juice in order to bet Okongwu under 8.5 rebounds at another book. So for you here, we're going with the data under 12.5 rebounds for Anthony Davis and then under 8.5 rebounds for Okongwu. And that gets you to plus 330. That's all you need. Nobody needs to go with these 6, 7, 8-leg parlays and blast away. All you need is just a simple 2-leg parlay. We have the data that backs what's working for us. I'm just combining two of our strongest markets on DraftKings. All right, thanks again for rolling with us. Appreciate it as always. Free stuff here for you in return. We just ask that you hit the subscribe button. Again, thumbs up, and you can comment all you way. Our 3 plays, the parlay, all here for you. One more time, Brooklyn Nets minus 1.5, Hawks plus 3, and then Luka under 36.5 points for the assuming that he even plays, and that's the thing. We want to get ahead of it. Here's your parlay one more time. Okongwu under 8.5 boards and Anthony Davis under 12.5 boards. Again, thank you so much. As always, we'll start the week off with some wins.